need to go ahead and accept. So take a moment, go ahead and click the button. And then once you get your camera set up, I'm going to invite you to come to whatever is your most comfortable seat in this moment right now. And I just want to take this opportunity to thank you all and welcome you all to our digestion class. You know, this Parkinson series is really super important to us here at the Shala. We're very excited to be working again with the Parkinson's Foundation for them to have offered us this grant opportunity so that we can offer you these classes for free. This is a growing program, so I also appreciate your time to, make sure that we do all the documentation. It's really helpful. We're really trying to let them know that, hey, we're working really super hard. We're touching lives and we're being as impactful as we possibly can be. And so all of that documentation helps because we want to have more and more free classes in the future. So thank you so much to the Parkinson's Foundation, and thank you to all of you for being here together today. So for our digestion class today, what we're going to be thinking about is working with the diaphragm a lot. And so there's lots of different ways in which we can work with the diaphragm. The primary way we're going to work with the diaphragm is going to be through breathing and with sound. And the diaphragm is important because it's one of the muscles that helps to massage and help to program our digestive function. So if we're not breathing correctly, we're also not digesting food correctly. Anytime we're not breathing correctly, we're also tend to be in a state where we might be stressed out, and then we're not going to be digesting properly either. And then, of course, digestion can have a lot of challenges if you are on different kinds of medications, or if you are a person with Parkinson's or some other neurodegenerative disease that has some muscular function to it that might cause spasms or stiffness. These all can impact our ability to digest food because our digestive tract is all smooth muscle that's contracting, right? And so we want to support and facilitate that to happen in a really good way. And some things that we can do in yoga is to practice our breath work, get the movement in the abdomen, improve our contraction of pulling the navel in toward the spine, squeezing, getting that good squeeze in there. And this is like a tense and release exercise. So we're going to be doing this in a couple of different ways throughout class today. We're going to be thinking about creating compression, squeezing, and then releasing and creating space in the digestive tract. And so we're going to do that through working with the legs a little bit. Every time you pick up your knees and you pull your knees in, you're creating a little compression. Anytime you stretch your legs out, you're creating a little stretch because everything is connected. Every time we breathe in, we're creating a stretch and also compression because we're pressing the diaphragm down into the abdomen. And so we're going to be working with some different movements, twisting, leaning forward, squeezing, releasing to be able to stimulate the digestive process. We're also going to be focusing a little bit on relaxation because again, like I mentioned, when we get stressed out, we don't digest super well. When you get really stressed, you get tense, right? And when we hold, then things aren't moving and flowing. So we want to create a little bit of relaxation as well. And one of our favorite ways at the Shala to facilitate relaxation and centering is through the practice of the Om. So we're going to start with the practice of the Om today. Whenever we Om, there's really three parts to the Om. There's the Ah sound, which resonates deeper in the belly and in the chest. As you start to close the mouth, it's going to make more of a ooh sound. It's going to challenge us to shape the muscles in our jaw and our face to make this shape more of an O shape. Ooh. And then as we close the mouth all the way and we continue to hum, we get all this vibration in the head, in the throat. And when we're creating all these vibrations in the body, it's going to be stimulating our vagus nerve. It's going to be stimulating the thyroid, all of these different glands in the body. And this helps to facilitate a state of relaxation and calm. It doesn't necessarily put you to sleep, but it should relax you, right? So we're always, when we're doing these practices, trying to find those ones that are going to help us be focused but calm, right? Present, alert, but also relaxed, right? And the Om is the perfect tool for that. So we're going to start with that. We'll do 3 times each sound, and then we'll flow them all together. So let's start just with the ah sound. So getting comfortable, make sure your feet are touching the ground. You let your hands come to rest on your legs. You might roll your shoulders up and back, sit up nice and tall, creating some space. You might even let your thumbs turn out and set them a little wider than your legs if you can set them on the arms of your chair. Just creating that space, that openness across the front of the chest. And then we'll do 3 ah sounds. Deep breath in, opening your mouth as wide as you can. Tip the head back a little if you want. Ah. Very good. We'll do that 2 more times. Deep breath in. Ah. And one more time. Breathing in, big and deep and full. Ah. Just noticing any feeling in the body or any change in your energy. Taking a moment to notice how you feel. And then we'll move on to the next sound. The next sound is the ooh sound. So you're going to close your mouth a little more, not quite as wide. Deep breath in. You might even draw your chin back a little. Ooh. Breathing in. Oh. And one more time. Noticing if there's a difference in where you feel vibration in the body. Oh. Allow yourself a couple of regulating breaths and just observe what you're feeling. And then we're just going to hum into the head. It's going to be like a sound. So you can curl your lips over your teeth. And you're just going to hum into your head. You might close your eyes for this part and really try to feel the vibration in the mouth, in the head, behind the nose. Deep breath in. Mm. And just do that 2 more times at your own pace. Mm. Mm. Very good. And then we're going to flow all 3 of those sounds together. Ah, ooh, We'll just do one big one. And I want you to just really take your time with it and try to feel the vibration from deep and low in the belly all the way up through the crown of the head. When you're ready, deep breath in. Ah. So taking your time to come back, opening your eyes if they're closed, beginning to look around in the space around you. And I'm going to invite you to just check out some stuff in your room for a moment, whatever room you're in. And I'm going to invite you to look for maybe 2 objects that are the color red. See if you can notice any objects that are the color red in the space around you. And if you don't spy anything red, maybe some other shade, maybe pink. Just seeing what you can see, just as a way of noticing the space, grounding into the space around you. And then after you've taken a moment to look around, coming back to center. And we'll ground into the body. Go ahead and just pick your shoulders up, give them a little squeeze. Relax the shoulders down. We'll do that again. Pick up shoulder squeeze. Relax the shoulders down. Maybe tip one ear over toward the other shoulder. And the other way. Just taking a moment to scan the body, notice places of tension. Maybe drop the chin down and lift it up a couple times. Maybe reaching your arms out and just taking up as much space as you possibly can, reaching out, big breath in. Exhaling, wrapping your arms around yourself, give yourself a nice big hug. And then releasing the arms down, letting your hands just rest on your legs. Okay. I'm gonna do a little bit more work with our breathing. And so we're going to work through diaphragmatic breathing, and we're going to start to identify breathing in the chest versus breathing down low in the belly. So go ahead and put one hand on your heart, one hand down on your belly. And I want you to just take one big breath in, and I want you to notice where you feel movement happening. In this hand, the hand that's lower, both hands, just see what happens. Deep breath in. And let the breath go. Deep breath in. And let the breath go. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Very good. And then we're going to focus just on the lower hand, trying to feel the movement just in the lower hand. We're going to start first by taking a big exhale and squeezing the belly button into the spine. Try to pull your belly in. Exhale. Feel that squeeze. Hold the breath out for just one moment. Relax, let the belly expand, breathe in. We'll do that again. Exhale. Squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. Hold the breath out. Relax, let the belly expand with breath. Exhale, squeeze. Hold the breath out just a moment. Relax, breathe in. Good. And then as you start to feel that movement in the belly, we're just going to focus here for 6 more breaths. If you can feel the belly expand like a balloon as you breathe in and squeeze the breath out on the exhale, squeezing the belly button as you exhale. Hand can rest on the belly. You might lean back in your chair, just trying to feel that movement in the belly. You might close your eyes for a moment. A few slow, deep breaths. Very good. And expand upon this. So you can keep one hand down here, maybe bring one hand back to your heart if you feel supported by touching into the chest here. And we're going to breathe into the belly just like we did. Big breath in. Then see if you can breathe in even bigger, lifting the heart up. Collarbones lift. And then exhale, let the breath go. Breathing into the belly. Breathing into the heart. Exhale and release. Into the belly. Into the heart. Exhale and release. Do a few more like that on your own. First into the belly, then bigger into the heart, and then relax to release. One more. Into the belly, into the heart, and then exhale to release. Very good. Bringing your hands back to your knees, sitting up nice and tall here. We're going to continue to breathe in this same manner, but we're going to add a movement of the spine. Okay, so we're going to do a little seated cat-cow. And so we're still thinking about breathing into the belly, breathing big into the heart, expanding the full body. When we do that, we're going to arch our back a little bit, maybe tip your head back, look up, lift the collarbones. Notice how that creates a little bit more space to breathe in. Then we're going to round the back as we breathe out. Chin's going to come into the chest, pull that belly button into the spine, squeeze all that breath out, really squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then as you're ready to breathe in, lift the heart again. Arch the low back. Lift the collarbones, look up. Exhale to round, squeezing all that breath out of the body. Good. Keep that going. Move with your breath. Move at a pace that matches your rhythm. Let the breath guide the movements. Take your time. Few more. Move with the breath. See if you can go a little further in each direction. Finishing up whichever round you're on, coming back into a neutral spine. And just taking a couple regular breaths and just observing your body. Just notice, do you feel any more space or any more movement than you did before? Are there any other changes to sensations? Maybe you're warmer. Maybe you're smilier. Go ahead and take one more deep breath in. And then exhale, release. Good. We're going to do a little bit more movement here, starting to wake up the body a little bit more. I'm going to invite us to add in a little bit of a Sufi circle, and then we're going to let that come into a side stretch. So before we do the side stretch, we're going to kind of combine just a rotation, big circle coming around. And if you'd like to explore a couple of times that cat-cow movement here, lifting the heart up as you come forward, rounding back as you sit back. Try to find the breath. Changing directions, nice big circles. Starting to feel that movement in the side body, in the hips. And starting to see if you can really lead with your rib cage. So lean your rib cage way one direction and then take it way over to the other direction. Finding that middle of the body. And coming back to center, reaching your right arm up and over, stretching up and over. You can use your left hand to support you with the chair, reaching as far over to the left as you can. And then slowly coming back. We're going to come in and out a few times on each side, switching and going left, reaching to the right, and coming back. Good. And we'll do it with the breath. So inhale as you reach. Fill that rib cage up with breath. And then exhale to come back to center. Moving with the breath. Richard, you got your arms going? And then if you want to add a little twist to it, you might reach a little bit at a diagonal. Trying to sit up nice and tall as you reach. And maybe explore Moving on the exhale, exhaling as you reach, squeezing the breath out of the body. Very good. And then coming back to center, might roll the shoulders up and back. And we're going to explore into a little bit of a forward fold. So this is going to be our first real big compression. Now, if you go to forward fold and you can't get all the way to the floor, no problem. In fact, I'll be honest with you, I don't think I can get to the floor today. I'm recovering from a little injury. So if you find it's nice and comfy to get to your reaching for your toes, go for it. You can also just let your hands rest on your knees and lean forward, but we're trying to feel a compression in the abdomen. So you want to try to lean forward far enough that you feel some pressure here. If that means you're reaching down your legs, go ahead and reach down your legs, lean forward as far as you can. And we're going to pause here for a few slow, deep breaths. You can do the seated. If it feels okay to do standing, you can do it standing, reaching for the toes. Maybe dropping the chin down toward the chest, breathing into the belly. Feel that compression deep and low in the belly. Very nice, Bernadette. And especially if you're standing, don't stay too long. Come up nice and slow. Take your time coming up. Sometimes that creates a little head rush, so take your time coming up. Make sure you feel centered. You can let your thumbs roll out, opening back up across the front of the chest. Maybe roll the shoulders up and back. Maybe stretch the arms out, take up lots of space. Big breath in. And then exhale, maybe wrap your arms around yourself. Give yourself a nice big hug. And then release the arms back down. Roll the shoulders up and back. Good. Do this one more time. We'll come into a forward fold one more time. So if it felt good to do it standing, great. If you want to do it seated, even if you did it standing the first time, you decide how you want to do it this time. You can switch it up. We'll come in for one more forward fold. Big breath in. And then exhale, leaning in, stretching forward, reaching forward. Drop your head wherever you are. Squeeze all that breath out of the body. Feel the compression. Stay for a moment. And then when you feel ready, slowly coming up, nice and steady. Roll the shoulders up and back. You're standing, coming into a Tadasana. Let the thumbs roll out, rise up through the crown of the head. Deep breath in. Easy breath out. Very good. From here, we're going to come into a twist. So if you'd like to do your twist standing, you can just swing the arms side to side. If you'd like to do it seated, you might turn and hold. So I'm going to come to stand. I'm going to show both options here. So you might just be swinging the arms, maybe even letting your opposite foot lift up off the ground. Just getting some nice twisting and movement in the whole body. So that might feel nice. And then if you want to do it seated, you can also just Sit up nice and tall and come gently into a twist. And pause there for a moment. Even if you're standing, maybe coming into a twist to one direction, maybe wrapping your arms around your body and holding for a moment, softly breathing, 3 breaths. And then coming the other direction for 3 breaths. Unwinding, coming back to center. Roll the shoulders up and back, release out of whatever you got going on. Very good. All right. Good, we're gonna keep moving. So we're gonna start with some marching, okay? So you can do the marching seated. It's basically a knee lift, right? Opposite, you can do that seated. Or if you feel like you got a lot of energy to burn and you wanna come to stand, you can also do this standing as well. So coming and just picking up your opposite knee, touching across the body. And do this for about a minute. Try to really get those knees up. Couple more on each side. And then let your knees rest, reach your arms up, stretch up, reach up. And then exhale, release the arms, roll the shoulders up and back. Perfect. Very good. The next thing we're going to do is a longer hold compression. So this one might be easier to do seated. If you've got really super good balance and you want to try it standing, maybe holding on to a chair, you can try it standing. But we're going to pick up one knee and bring it into our chest. And we're just going to hold it here for a moment. Softly breathing here. Feeling into that compression on the right side, right knee lifting. If you're already working on the left knee, then left knee is fine. Take a couple of those belly breaths. One more deep breath in. And then exhale, release that knee back down, set that foot down. Let your hands rest on the knees for a moment, sit up nice and tall, and just scan your body, left and right side of your body. Just notice if you can feel any difference on the left and right side of the body. Taking another breath in, deep in the belly. Big up into the heart. Exhale, let it go. Very good. So we're going to move on to the left knee or whatever knee you haven't done yet. So if you already did the left knee, go ahead and do the right knee. Picking up your opposite knee, holding on, nice, good squeeze here. Try to sit up, lean in a little if you can. Feel that compression coming back into the breath. If you'd like, you can close your eyes here and just feel the movement in the belly as you breathe. One more deep breath in. And then exhale, release that foot back down to the floor. Very good. Walking your feet far enough out that your knees are at the same level as your hips. Hands resting on the knees, sit up nice and tall. Scan your body one more time, left and right side of the body. Do they feel even now? Or is there still a difference on the left and the right? No wrong answers, just scan your body. And just become aware of whatever sensations you're able to feel, any differences on the left and the right side of the body. Very good. Deep breath into the belly. Bigger up into the heart. Exhale and release. Very good. All right, the next exercise that we're going to do is called Kapalabhati, skull shining breath. And the reason they call it that is because when people do this, it's very powerful. And sometimes people get a little bit lightheaded and they get kind of buzzy up in the brain and they feel like, oh, my brain's getting cleaned, nice and shiny, right? So we do want to be mindful as we do this exercise not to get dizzy or overdo the exercise. So if you notice that you feel a little lightheaded, I'm going to ask you to slow down and take a few regular breaths, and then you can come back to do it again. Okay. We're going to take this exercise on a slower fashion than normally this is done. Sometimes this is done really super fast. I'm not really worried about us doing it fast. What I am trying to do is share with you the muscular contraction involved in doing this breath, because that's really what's important here, because we're squeezing in the abdomen. We're activating our diaphragm through this big contraction, okay? So that's the most important part. So we don't have to do this fast. We'll do it over and over again, but we're not going to do it too fast. If the pace I choose is still too fast for you, slow it down even more, okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're almost going to pretend kind of like you're blowing your nose. So if you were to sneeze or you were going to go blow your nose, there's a way in which you create that squeezing deep and low in here and blow that air strong out through the nose. If you need a tissue, if you are worried that there's going to be some debris, please grab a tissue for yourself. Don't be shy, because that is definitely something that happens sometimes at this exercise. If you're congested at all, and then I'll give everybody a moment. Yep, if you need to grab a tissue or a little hand towel, just in case. If you feel confident, you're open and not worried about it, no worries. Great. And then what we're going to do is you're going to take a big deep breath in, and then you're going to pretend for a moment like you're blowing your nose. Big, strong exhale. You're going to squeeze your belly button into the spine. Perfect. Good. And then we're going to do that again. Big breath in. Strong exhale out through the nose. Good. All of it is happening down here. We're squeezing that belly button in really tight when we exhale. Big breath in. Strong exhale. Squeeze the belly. Very good. Now, we're actively breathing in here. We're going to try to see what happens if we don't actively breathe in. We're just going to let the body breathe in on its own. So, one big breath in. Big, strong exhale. And then just relax. You'll watch the body breathe in naturally. Very good. Exhale again. Big, strong exhale. Relax. Watch the body breathe in. Big, strong exhale. Relax. Watch the body breathe in. Good. We'll pick up the pace a little bit. Exhale. 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 Keep going. Good. Let that go. Take a couple of regular breaths. Just watch the body breathe. You don't have to actively breathe. If you need to wipe your nose or anything, stuff loosened up, it's fine. We want to get stuff moving. If stuff is moving, that means we're clearing. Skull shiny breath. And then we'll do this again. Let's do 10 quick exhales in a row. We'll do one big breath in. 10 quick exhales. Take a few regular breaths. Just watching the body breathe. And then we'll repeat. One big breath in. 10 quick exhales. Return to a normal rhythm of breath. And then one final time, deep breath in. 10 quick exhales. And then returning to a normal rhythm of breath. And just scanning the body, just noticing, do you feel the muscles in the belly more activated? Do they feel stronger? Do they feel tired? Can you feel them? And then sitting back in your chair, getting as comfortable as you can be in this moment right now. You can close your eyes for a moment if you'd like. Go ahead and squeeze your toes. Release and wiggle the toes. Stretch your right leg out, flex the toes back toward the knee. Feel that heel reaching away. Feel the muscles in the right leg activate. And then set that foot down, release the engagement of the muscles. Do the same on the left. Lifting the left leg up, stretching it out, flexing the toes, reaching out through the heel. Squeeze the muscles on the left. And then release. Reaching your arms up, closing your fingers over your thumbs, squeezing your fists, squeezing the arms, All the muscles in the arms squeeze. And then release. Deep breath into the belly. Big into the heart. Exhale, let the breath go. Closing your eyes if you feel comfortable and just taking 3 more breaths like that. Deep into the belly. Up into the heart. And exhale to relax and release. Deep into the belly. Up into the heart. Exhale and release. One more time on your own. When you feel ready, you can bring your hands together in front of the body, pressing the palms in together, Anjali Mudra. And we'll close our practice today with one more Om. All 3 parts to the Om, Ah, U, Deep breath in. Thank you so much for joining us for this practice this evening. You all have a wonderful evening. Namaste.